guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm your host Jeff Cordetti for Cordetti Motorsports, and today on Torque Steer Tuesday, it's all about Betty and her battery. For those that don't know who Betty is, Betty's my 1976 Bricklin, and she's got a little bit of a battery issue. I'm not sure if I need to replace it or just clean up the connections, give it a good charge, give it a good run. So that's what this episode is all about. I always get asked, why did I name my Bricklin Betty?
It's white. Kind of a Betty White. Betty White.
So now, today what we're going to do is we're just going to go in there. I'm going to show you where the battery is located in the Bricklin. It's not under the hood. It's in the back hatch area under a little storage area. So I'm going to go in there, going to remove the battery, just going to put it on the bench and give it a good charge. The batteries that they have are the typical 10mm screw in bolt system, and it is horrendous because sometimes I had to boost the car a couple times, and getting the booster pack, you know, in a little crevice on those silly little stupid play school type of screws is ridiculous. So that's one thing I'm going to replace on it, is to get a better clamping system and a better battery hookup so that I can have actual clamps, not those silly little stupid things that some manufacturers put in. I won't name any names. But anyway, guys, those are my beefs. Those are what bugs me about that style. But yeah, so anyway, the battery is the same battery in it that I bought it, so it's definitely 2-3 years old. I'll take a look at the date. It's a certified Canadian Tire brand, which has been good. I've had them in all my vehicles. It's just time for replacement. It's probably maybe 5-6 years old is what I'm guessing. So if you've got an old car, you know these things are, you know, always a problem. I don't think I got a drain. No, I know I don't have a drain on the battery because the doors, they're operated electrically on the Bricklin. They always go up and down. Now they might be going up and slow as my battery depletes the, you know, the reserve capacity and when the engine's not running, but I never had a total dead battery. I had to go boost it. It was just when I go start, it felt like there was a bad connection or a dirty connection. So we're going to source that out first, start off with the easy stuff, work our way to the hardest stuff. So I'll give my conclusion in another couple episodes on what the problem is. So just your typical general maintenance is what we're after with this car. So let's go in, grab the battery, take it out, give it a good charge, and then in a couple episodes I will let you know what those are, if I had to actually end up getting a new battery or if it was just a good connection, redo the current connections and clean everything up if that's the only thing that was missing. So let's jump in the back hatch, is where the Bricklin battery is located, and we will get her out and give it a visual inspection and go from there. So the battery location on the Bricklin is behind the passenger seat, and it's under the floor. There's basically not a container, it's basically a little plastic hatch where it sits in there. It's a battery dish, and so you just roll the carpet back, you open up the plastic flap that's holding it, basically the lid, and then you have your access to your fuse and everything else in there. So we're going to go jump in. I'm going to show the tripod. It's a job what you do laying down because it's really not accessible from the front there. It's just from the back. So once I pull the battery out, put it on the bench, give it a bit of an inspection. Okay guys, here's the battery. As you can see, it's in a small little container, or what I call it, it's in its housing, battery housing, behind the front seat, and you can see some wires and everything around there. Like, again, it's not really accessible. Bit of a safety note: always wear your PPE when you're handling a battery. It's, you know, lead acid. Be careful with it. Use proper gloves and eyewear as well. So I'm just going to go basically really remove it. I got this nice little handle. I can just take it right out, and we're going to inspect the connectors at coming in on the wiring harness, and we're also going to inspect the battery itself on the connectors. So let's go remove it and we will see what we got. Okay everybody, as you can see, it's kind of dirty. It should be a bit cleaner than that. So I'm going to get a wire brush, clean it all up. The negative doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty clean. But again, just needs a bit of a TLC in here. So I'm going to go clean this battery tray slash box up. I'm going to convert those to the better system. Like I said, these systems leave a lot to be desired. I really despise how silly and stupid the small is, especially when you're trying to jump it with big booster cables. So let's go take a look and inspect the battery on the bench. We'll take a look how old it is, and then we will go and get it tested out to see if its performance is starting to fail. So now that we got the battery back on the bench, we're just going to go take a look at it. It is about 5 years old. It's, you know, January, February, March, April of 2015. So, you know, it's time that the battery could lose its performance. I should go in and I'm going to give this a good charge overnight, and I'm going to go inspect the water in it, make sure all the levels are good, and then again just give this a really good cleanup in here. Get a wire brush, make sure all the connectors are going to have good seal, good contact if the battery's still good. It's basically a certified brand is a Canadian Tire brand. They don't make batteries, but they license another company to make batteries. I don't know who makes their batteries, but anyway, I've been happy with them. This is more of I guess a value brand certified, so they've been making these for quite a while. It is 5 years old, so you got a lot of money in it. It's a Group 75. This one here has 600, I'm not sure if you can see that really good. What do we got in here? Anyway, 630 cold cranking amps at -18. Don't really drive it in those cold conditions, so I'm not really worried about it. And it's a 90-minute reserve capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a good cleanup, give it a good charge, make sure the water levels, I'll use distilled water, in it are good. Again, give it a good maintenance, get it tested. So you might see this go back in, you might not. It might be a whole new battery. This strength and this size is probably what I'll go with next, and I'll definitely look at another certified battery. Or if you have a suggestion, you can leave it in the comments. Well guys, that's basically it for next episode. Stay tuned for the update on the battery, and I'll show you what if Betty's going to get a new one, or if it just needed a good little TLC. So we'll get you on that in the next couple episodes. If you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the like button and sharing it with all your friends and your neighbors and everything else. So we're going to be going on this journey of automotive and truck related topics and driving, because that's basically my passion. So we got a couple little surprises in the next few episodes. I picked up a couple classic vehicles, which those will be unveiled very shortly, and I think you guys will love the surprise. I know I do. So guys, thanks again, stay loose, and we will catch you on the next episode of Cordetti Motorsports. Stay loose for now.